There are two Crossbow themed editions in the Creation Club Anniversary Edition of Skyrim, and the first one is the Elite Crossbows. Head to Ironback Hideout, which is just west of the Falmer Embassy, and you should more or less get attacked by a bunch of marauders and bandits. In the wreckage and ruins of a house, you will find a note that's going to direct you to a cliff just opposite the Falmer Embassy. You really can't miss it if you spawn directly on the Falmer Embassy, but you can see it's just to the slightly northwest of Solitude. This guy will have the key to access a secret cellar back at the house that you just were at. It can be quite difficult to get hold of, so go in first person and look to the left of the bedroll and you'll see it there. Inside you'll find a plethora of weapons, loot and much more. You can even go ahead and improve some certain things with an anvil nearby. But on the table you'll find an elven and ebony crossbow with some exploding dwarven bolts of fire and lightning. So these crossbows are an addition to the ones that you unlock while you have the Dawnguard DLC installed. And now you've picked them up, you should be able to go ahead and craft them whenever you want, with both crossbows doing at least 59 damage. So moving on to the expanded crossbow pack, pretty much you get a variety of different crossbows by going to the Fletcher in Solitude. He seemingly only opens for a short space of time, and you'll be able to buy pretty much any of the new crossbows added as part of this second Creation Club content. He replenishes his stock every 2 days, and he will sell a bunch of the bolts that you're going to need. Now once you've got some of these, you can go ahead and start crafting your own, particularly the crossbows. But I did find it a bit difficult. Some of the crossbows I wasn't able to craft even though I'd gone and bought them. The base crossbow will do 48 damage and it's a weight of 14. And indeed this might be one of the ones that you got from just the Dawnguard expansion. Then you've got the Daedric crossbow, which looks pretty cool. I love the red in this one. It's got a weight of 20 and damage of 71. The ebony crossbow is even heavier at weight of 23 and damage of 64. I'll just give you a closer look at the elven crossbow while I talk about bolts. So bolts you can buy from the Fletcher and Solitude. You may find crossbows and bolts all across the map if you've got this all installed. And of course you should be able to buy some, I do believe, from an NPC at Dawnguard as well. All of these crossbows can be improved and they do make a significant improvement. The two that I'm having trouble looking into is the exploding fire bolts and the shock bolts. They seemingly at the moment I can only find people to actually buy them from, not actually found out in the world. And in general, given that I've done nearly every creation content going now, pretty much other than a couple of the big main mission ones, I have not come across a huge selection of the bolts, and maybe only about maybe two crossbows in that whole time. Anywho, one of the light crossbows is the glass one at 16, and it's going to do 64 damage. I quite like the look of this one. The Imperial crossbow is even lighter at 14, and it does 51 damage. The Nordic crossbow, 15 weight and 59 damage. And just to show you some orcish bolts which do 15 damage when they're equipped also. With the crossbow itself doing 56 damage and a weight of 15. The silver crossbow is probably one of the best ones at 74 damage and only 14 weight. That ratio is one of the best. Steel bolts only do 10 damage and they're kind of like the basic one. As said, wait 2 days and the shop will replenish, and it does 69 damage for a weight of 18 for the SKYRIM crossbow. Bow mold bolts do 15 damage, cork bulb do 10 damage, and some of these are the ones that I trouble crafting. Then we've got the dragonbone crossbow, which does 77 damage, weight of 22. It's definitely one of the heavier ones. With dwarven bolts doing 14 damage also. With iron bolts only doing 8 damage. And yeah, the exploding bolts of fire, they do 15 points of fire damage after they've hit their target, in addition to the 14 points at the beginning. So yeah, once again I'm a bit perplexed. I can craft like a steel crossbow, but I can't craft the SKYRIM crossbow. You can only find it by looks of things, unless there's something I'm missing. It could potentially be because I've not done many of the actual proper quest line missions on the actual VALHEIM, obviously the Dragonborn DLC, so that might be the reason. I can go ahead and make the Nordic crossbow at least, and you see here when it's enhanced it's going to do 50% ignoring of armour. I could craft the cork bulb arrows, but I couldn't craft actual bolts. But there we go, you get the idea. Help me out if you know any of the tips and where to craft certain bolts, or is it a case of just only being able to buy them? I kind of think it sucks that you can't craft more of them, and if you know of any glitches or problems in actually being able to make this once you've found them, You guys have been super helpful, got some real Skyrim experts in the comments on a lot of my videos, so I appreciate it. And yeah, enjoy. If this is going to be part of your new meta build, are you going to be searching these out? Go and grab these 2 quests if you got it free in the anniversary content. And I'll see you ratbags later.